this video, I want to give you a ton of examples and train your ear on being able to identify the difference between a half step and a whole step. Hi, my name is Dylan Andrews with eartrainingforguitar.com, and being able to identify half steps and whole steps by ear is a really important part of ear training because it will give you so many clues on what's happening in music. When you're transcribing music, you're not always going to know what's happening right away, so you have to look for clues. And one of these clues is half steps and whole steps. So a way that this really helps you is, let's say that we're in a major key, okay? There are only two instances that a half step works. So in this major scale, I'm going to do the key of D. How it goes, and this is for any major scale, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now, a half step is the difference of only one fret, or one note. And this happens between scale degrees 3 and 4, and 7 and 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now, if you're trying to listen to a piece of music and identify what's going on and you hear a half step, well, you only have a few options. It either has to be the 3 to a 4, the 4 to a 3, ascending or descending, or the 7 to 1, or the 1 to 7. And then if you hear a whole step, then you know it can't be those options. So it helps limit things and makes it easier. And the same is true for a minor scale. There are two instances where you have the half step occur. So in a minor scale, I'll do D minor, is we have a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So the half steps occur between 2 and flat 3, and then 5 and flat 6. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So if you hear a half step, it has to be those two instances. If you hear a whole step, it can't be those two. So it just helps you to be able to identify solos, songs, chord progressions a lot easier. So what I want to do is give you a lot of tests in this video to see if you can identify this. Now, here's what I'd recommend, okay? In this video, you're going to get a total of 15 guesses. So I'm going to give you 15 tests where you have to listen and identify, is it a half step or is it a whole step? And I want you to keep track of how many you get right and how many you get wrong so you know where you stand. These tests are a great way to see where your strengths and weaknesses are in your ear. It's a great way to see what you should be working and practicing on in ear training. But go ahead and get a pencil, piece of paper, pen, write on your computer, whatever, but keep track of what you get right and wrong. So here is your first test. That was a whole step. Here is the next one. That was a half step. Here's the next example. That was a half step. Here's another one. And that was a whole step. Here's the next example. That was a half step. Here's another example. And that was a whole step. Here is another one. That one was a whole step. Here is the next example. And that was a half step. Here is another one. And that one was a whole step. Here is the next example. That one was a half step. Here is another one. And that one was a whole step. And if you've liked this video so far, please like and subscribe so you can get more ear training videos just like this. But here is the next example. And that one was a half step. Here is another one. And that one was a whole. Here is another example. And that one was a half step. Here is the final example for this video. And that one was a whole step. So put down in the comments, how did you do? Did you do really well? Was it really bad? Either way is great. Now, if you didn't do so good on this, it's okay. You just need to practice. And one of the best way to practice doing this is to practice singing half steps and whole steps. Singing is one of the best ways to train your ear, and don't worry, you don't have to be a good singer. You just need to be able to match pitches. So you just play a note, you sing, then you try to sing up a whole step from there and see if you're right. Then you try to choose another note. Then try to sing up a half step from there. You can do this randomly, you can do this within key, it doesn't matter, but singing will absolutely upgrade your ear in the quickest amount of time. If you want more tips and guidance on how to train your ears, you should check out my online ear training course called Complete Ear Mastery. This is a full in-depth ear training course built from a guitar player's perspective, me for guitar players. So if you want to learn how to train your ear and get more information on that, the link is in the description below. But I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you at the next one.